My favorite memory is one that happens every year. I've developed this custom of standing on the balcony outside of the boardroom on the second floor of the Union, overlooking the baseball fields, and the graduation lines file past there. And I'm sort of up above looking down. Occasionally I've been teased by some of the brothers, for sort of looking like the prince looking over the people walking by and waving at them. But from my point of view, it's not really a matter of expressing any separation or anything like that. They're walking in and they're totally jubilant. And I love it because I don't know whether they now know I stand up there and it's passed through the grapevine, but kids will look up and wave, and it's really kind of a neat moment. It allows me to kind of do a sort of emotional go-through before I get on the stage and have to conduct the ceremony, because graduation is an emotional time. And I think it's really emotional I know it's emotional for any of the parents. I know it's really emotional for the students. You can see it in their eyes when they come across the stage. So for me, it just kind of allows me to realize, gee, look at all the life that they lived, over 4 years, and some of them I've known that long. So it allows me a little chance to think about those things. They might be surprised that one of my hobbies is reading cookbooks and cooking to some degree, although I've done more reading of recipes than cooking them in the last 15 years. And I know this is not a surprise to some people around campus, but there are a lot of people that know that I like Scotch. And some of them, their perception of my taste is much higher than my own taste is. I love spy novels. And my current favorite is Daniel Silva, who writes these absolutely bloody novels. Daniel Silva is writing about a character who's the head of Israeli intelligence, Gabriel Alon, but they're absolutely gripping, and I consume them like like a glass of scotch. I mean, you start, boom, you're done. They're hard to put down. I don't know how many people realize how many what the extent of my family. I mean, there's probably 30 cousins that live in Philadelphia who are second cousins, but in the Irish way, we made no distinctions, and I'm very connected to all of them. I don't think people would see that necessarily in my life. I'm a Christian brother, so this is going to sound like cheering for the home team. I think that the specialness of LaSalle is something that comes from the brothers. It is not the brothers in and of themselves, though the current group of brothers at LaSalle and those that have preceded us, many of those people have made enormous impacts to make LaSalle a special place. But the thing about the brothers is that people are important to us in a unique kind of way. The individual person is so important in the way they think about the brothers' lives, the brothers' vocation, their teaching. And I think that spirit is deep in the bones at LaSalle. The brothers are far outnumbered. There's 230 full-time faculty, maybe 10 brothers full-time. We have a number of other brothers, another 10 that are on staff. So it's really not all of them. I mean, I could look around the room, I see younger faculty, middle-aged faculty, senior faculty, all of whom act the same way. And I'm sure some of them came to LaSalle as just that kind of person, but I think a lot of the people came, they liked what they saw, it tapped a part of their experience, and they've stayed and they've made LaSalle the same kind of place as the brothers would want it to be. Surviving it. I mean, I think part of it is that people have been saying 15 years since it went by so fast, I guess there really is an achievement in lasting that long that I hadn't thought about in the eyes of the world. In terms of the university, I would say that the two things, the transformation of Holroyd, when we did that, made it the Holroyd Hall with the Nancy and Hugh Devlin Science and Technology Center. That's a tremendous achievement, I think, for everybody. And then I'd say acquisition of West Campus. even though, even though all I could see was old buildings when we started with it. So I'd say they're the biggest achievements. Well, the first thing I'd say is to thank them for their patience with the weak point, my own weak points. I mean, I think everybody who's a college president or anybody who has any position of leadership realizes that they have strengths and they have limitations. I've been hearing all these things about great things that I've accomplished, and I keep trying to point to the team that helped to accomplish them. I'm very well aware that I have limitations, and I want to thank the community over the last 15 years for its patience with me and its willingness to follow the strengths and ignore the weaknesses. On a more going forward kind of advice, I think what I would say is that LaSalle it's a university, but earlier what I said was most special about it was its human warmth. It's the human relationships at the basis of it. And I would say that for LaSalle going forward, the effort to maintain the pursuit of knowledge that is at the heart of a university and in the life of its students, trying to maintain that pursuit at its highest levels, along with keeping a caring Christian Brothers LaSallian environment, is a challenge. I don't think we reflect often enough on how difficult it is. I think we try to take it in stride, or we do take it in stride. I'd say keep your eye on both balls, if you will. I mean, you know, they tell you in the batter's box, keep your eye on the ball. But in this time, you got two that we have to juggle, let's say, or to keep in the air. And the other thing I'd say is look forward to great times ahead. I mean, I think there'll be more times like the Sweet 16 party in Olney Avenue, and successes like we've had on various fall sports and winter sports and spring sports, and people with Fulbrights. LaSalle has a bright future.